Hi, welcome to this session for discussion with the instrument professionals by Navafiz. The overall agenda of this session is to discuss with the seniors, discuss with those who are expert in this field, and accordingly guide the young generation. And also, if you are already in that field, we will try to support that. If you have any question or queries, or you want how you can grow in your career accordingly. So first I would like to welcome Mr. Ahmad. Assalamu alaikum.
जी वालेकुम
Assalamu alaikum.
अस्सलाम जी वालेकुम
Sir,
अस्सलाम
welcome to this
salam
session.
salam to everyone. I
Welcome.
just want to know how many people now in the audience.
People will be joining gradually, but as of now it's showing three. But by the time people will add up, so accordingly we will move forward. So, starting with you,
Okay.
first of all, thanks for your time and valuable efforts. So, if you can give a idea about your personal journey in this field, how you came in this field, because what I understand in my personal case, I came into instrumentation field by chance. I was not knowing about it, and by going through zigzag path, I reached here as an instrument designer in ADNOC offshore. So how is your journey?
Okay. For me, I knew exactly what I was going into. I graduated from Tesla in the year 2000. Then I joined OGDC as an instrument engineer. I worked maybe 5 years in OGDC, and then I switched to a multinational company, European company OMV. Now it is acquired by UEP, a Chinese firm in Pakistan. But when I joined, it was doing very well. I was in Sawan, Khairpur. Before that, I was in Qadirpur, OGDC. And I switched from field instrumentation to controllers to PLCs to control systems, TCS, turbine controls, CCC, everything. And then after like 11 years, I came to Abu Dhabi. I was a direct hire for ADNOC Gas. I worked there for like 7 years. Then I got bored and I switched again. I went into consultancy design. I joined Penspen, worked for 3 years there. Then I joined Wood. I recently left Wood. Now I'm working for Kent. But the end user is still ADNOC Gas. And I have worked in Habshan for ADNOC Gas for like 7 years. I have very rich experience in gas facilities and flow meters and the control systems, Emerson, Yokogawa, HEMA, Allen Bradley, Modicon, all these systems. So currently we are working for, there is a project coming up which is called Helen Gasha. It's a huge project and we are at the tail end of this project. So we are building the Ruwais terminal to receive the additional 10,000 tons of sulfur coming from Helen Gasha. So that is a very
Right,
short and brief introduction.
right. Excellent, excellent. So for more detailed questions, I will get back to you. Meanwhile, we can get introduction from Mr. Faisal. Assalamu alaikum, Faisal sir.
Yes, walaikum salam.
Sir,
How are you?
how is your journey in the instrumentation field? How you came here?
Yes, so basically, I also graduated from IIE NED University in Industrial Electronics, Bachelor's of Engineering in Industrial Electronics. Then I joined 1 year in OGDCL, so in Islamabad, and I visited their two sites. One is Dodak and one is the Qatarpur sites. Then basically I joined the Descon Engineering, which is the largest engineering company of Pakistan. So there I worked for more than 8 years. During this tenure, I also went on assignment to JGC Yokohama office. in Japan. So, there also I worked for big projects. In one project was in UK, I mean USA. One was Venezuela projects, and then and I also worked on the Middle East projects. So in Descon, my major projects were related to the Middle East. Uh, then I worked for Shell Pakistan for 5 years, and after that I moved to Qatar. So here I have worked for 2 years. I'm with wood engineering and doing multiple projects for Shell Qatar and Qatar Energy. So I'm doing the multiple projects here. So my total overall experience is purely related to the instrumentation and control system. They are designing, engineering, all that stuff from start
Right,
to end.
right. And you came into this field by choice or by chance?
Basically, as you know that we have how to say, we as per merit, we decided, the university decided the your departments. So alhamdulillah, but I like this instrumentation field, and I enjoy my working in instrumentation field. So yeah.
R- Right. So I will get back to you for more detailed questions for the guidance of juniors, especially. We are more focusing on to those who actually trying to join this field, plus little bit who are new in this one and want to grow further and improve or switch the field from, like say, from technician to designer, or from engineer, EPC engineer to the other category or something like that. Right. We have one comment, and after that comment, we will move to Makas. The comment is from Naveed Muzaffar. Naveed here. I am also working in Dascon engineer as a junior instrumentation and control design department. Right. Thank you, Naveed, for your comments. If you have any question, you can also feel free to ask. And now we will welcome Wakas Bhai. Assalamu alaikum, Wakas Bhai.
Walaikum assalam, Liaquat bhai. Hope everyone is
Thank you for
fine
your
here, and
thank you for your
most
precious
welcome.
time.
It's completely our pleasure. Yeah.
Right. So, how is your journey? How did you came into this field?
So, like Liaquat bhai, as you said about yourself, so my journey was also, I think, quite similar to you, and actually it was by chance. But the main thing is that I graduated from Ghulam Isa Khan Institute from Electronics Engineering faculty, and I graduated in 2011. And with respect to the electronics, it was quite a uncertain time actually. And interestingly, what happened at that time, that the electronics and electrical was going down. I think my other colleagues can also recall that time itself. And the software engineering was booming up at that time. So it was quite a tricky time to be graduated. And it was like, even being the electronics engineer and instrumentation, we were being forced into going towards the software houses and doing the coding and everything. And most of my colleagues were being, heavily being employed into all the software, new software houses. And it was quite a very strange time for us, because, we being the electronics engineering at the time when we started our journey in the university, and we were thinking that we are going into the best faculty of the university, and while being graduated it was not the same case at that time. So at such kind of time, many people are saying, no problem, you go towards, the software, it is the booming field, and you will get more earning and everything. But my own gut feeling, as well as my father and my other mentors who were there, they all were quite adamant that, it's always better to be on your core side. Like, whatever your core field is there, your exact and your real value will be there in your core field, rather than just moving towards the trend at the moment. So that was the case. And interestingly, I'll share one of my incident at that time, that I got offer letter, everything from as the software companies, but then suddenly at the last moment, I decided myself that no, I need to go into my core field, which is instrumentation. And in this way, you can say I said like that, but after that, there were quite a lot of struggle because of the thing that at that time there was quite a slump into the oil and gas field, because what we can recall that it was the time that the impact of the 2007 slump that came in the oil and gas was quite prevalent even at that time as well, and the opportunities in the market was quite less. But then I got one same like my other colleagues, and also Naveed, who commented there that I got opportunity from Descon. Like most of our people from Pakistan who are into the oil and gas, their premium company is also normally Descon. They are starting their journey with Descon. So I got opportunity in the graduate engineers training program, and then but just, after that, by chance, I got into this field, and that then it goes on, and it's a long journey of almost 13 to 14 years now, and still going on, and that's how I entered into the field.
Right. Now we have one comment from engineer Abdul Samad. AO Abdul Samad Shakir here, working as instrument control junior engineer on an Iraq project for 10K barrels of crude distillation refinery. Thank you. Thank you. If you have any question, you can ask. And then we have from Wasim Akram. Assalamu alaikum, every board members. My question is, I studied electronics and instrumentation engineering, and since then I have been involved into the construction and around 9 year of experience. So I didn't understand what is the actual question. What do you want to ask? Maybe you can rephrase your question or share the second part of the question. So I think our panel will be able to answer in more better way. Now I would request Mr. Ahmad to uh, basically guide the people who want to join the instrumentation field. So, what is the actually career path? How we should take the route starting from the basic education?
There is a difference if you look at the Western academics and the people coming out of India, and then when you look at Pakistan, like Vakas, he said he came out of GIK. I studied in Texla. Faisal studied from IIE. So, but the major difference is when we come into this field or anywhere in a job, we have zero experience. Means I don't know even if I want to turn the motor on, which button I should turn on or off. We are so lacking the practical knowledge that is required. So all these people, if you look at a Western, Western Europe engineer or Indian engineer coming out of Reliance, or somebody coming from Oxford or Harvard or MIT, they have a huge head start on us. So they always look down upon us. So I have worked with almost all nationalities: Japanese, Chinese, British, American, all people. And I think I'm no less than anybody. But the only problem is I'm lacking the practical knowledge because our universities, they don't teach you all of these things. So you have to learn it the hard way. सो आप जब यूनिवर्सिटी से निकलते हो, जैसे मैं टेक्सला से मैं निकला, आई न्यू दैट मीन्स एकेडमिकली आई एम वेरी गुड, आई एम गिफ्टेड, आई नो अ लॉट ऑफ थिंग्स, बट प्रैक्टिकली आई एम ज़ीरो. So I had to start from scratch. I mean, I didn't even know how a solenoid valve works. And
Right.
now currently I'm designing for the means $50 billion project. I'm doing the design for that. I mean, just a part of the design, not the whole thing. But I know people who are doing the actual design. I have worked with them already. Technimont, Technip, Tabodin. I have worked with them. So the problem we have is that are having a very poor start. So my advice to people is, like, in last 2 years of your graduation, you should focus more on the practical aspects, not on the theoretical or grades or numbers. They will not help you. It will not help you. What will help you is, this is one thing. The other thing is, you have to look at the market trends. Like currently, when I see people coming out of Pakistan, very few people are focused on the emerging trends. I see a lot of people, they're good also, very sharp, very bright. They know a lot of things, but the problem is, are they aware of the market demand and the market trend? In the next 30 years, the biggest thing that will come is, means, if you want a job, I am not in favor of job actually, but let's say you want a job, so you should, if I were in their place, I will be looking at AI, deployment of AI, digitalization to some extent. um, EV market is very good. A lot of opportunities in that market. Definitely mobile applications in general, if you want to look at computer science part of it. But all of this is very much doable. The only problem is, the people, either they don't have the money, or they don't have the foresight to look into all these trends. For me personally, I'm almost like 50 years old. I've been working for like 25 years. But when I entered the industry, the only thing I had in my mind was that I'm always going to look for the cutting edge. Whichever is the cutting edge, you have to go for it. Even if you don't get a job, you have to be unemployed, you not get anything, but you have to learn what the market is asking for. That is my mantra, and I follow that to this day. And you have to be aware of the opportunities that will come your way.
Right. Excellent. Now we will go back to the question of engineer Samad. He said, my question is, how can we find sources where we can find all about control system, where we can learn all different companies control system, so we can know where to start and where to end.
You
So
want me to take this question?
yes, please. Yes, please.
Okay, this is very easy actually, because I mean, there are very few manufacturers and very few companies who make these systems. I can name you, the best one currently is Honeywell. Then you have Yokogawa. Honeywell is American, Yokogawa is Japanese. Then you have Emerson. They operate in different regions. Like, Emerson is not very strong in the Middle East, but in the US and Europe is very good. Similarly, Yokogawa has a very huge installed base in the Middle East, but you will not find it anywhere else. I mean, in Europe and the US. In North America, you will not find it. So these different companies, they have different areas where they focus and where they have their business. Other than that, there are few players, but they're not very strong, like ABB, like Siemens. They are like fringe players. They are at the periphery. Sometimes they get a project, but this is not their core area of expertise. Like, Siemens is more into power, not in control systems much. But ABB likewise, they are not very strong in the control system sector, but they have other strengths which they focus on. But these three players, Honeywell, Yokogawa, and Emerson, if you can have some hands-on experience on any one of them, or other are almost the same. Very few differences you will find, and then it's okay. Now there are other companies who make PLCs and other controllers and other things. Like, one of them is HEMA, Triconics, but they are very specialty like PLCs. They work into safety PLCs, or like small applications for, like, for Allen Bradley, Modicon. They do not target refineries or gas facilities or oil facilities or wellheads. So they have like their own area where they focus on. Some they're very good in package control, like for machines, small machines, engines, all kinds of things, compressors, like that. You have CCC for anti-surge and pressure control applications, turbine control. You have Mark 5, Mark 6, GE. Then other Triconics you have for ICS, Triple X you have, but the three players, the big players, you have to concentrate on them if you're looking for control systems. I mean, and there are certain things with which you can start off. There is a famous model which you have to follow. Like there are 4 or 5 levels where you place your devices and how they talk to each other and communicate. So this we studied during our graduation when we were doing engineering. Like how is the physical interface, then there is a communication interface, then there is an enterprise layer at the top, and you have servers. Now there is a virtual layer. So all these things you have to learn, like how things talk to each other. And it's not that difficult, but you need proper like guidance, and you have to work on it. Like when I started off with the Modicon PLC when I started my career. So I still remember it was quantum. So I understood how it works. I programmed it. I played with it for a year or two. Then I moved on to other bigger things. So that is how you should go. But the problem with technology these days is there is a cycle like 5 years. If I learn something now, after 5 years, it will be worthless. So every 5 years, 4 years, 5 years, you need to learn new things. Otherwise, you will become obsolete. You will have no value. So you have to concentrate, you have to learn, then unlearn, and learn something new. And always keep learning if you want to do a job. Even if you want to do a business, like me myself, I'm going into this EV business very soon, inshallah, EV or automotive. So it has its own challenges, but the biggest challenge is to learn these. Every few months you will have a new car model, every few months you'll have a new car manufacturer. So you have to learn how these things work and how quickly things are changing. Unless you can do that, you will not be able to achieve much in this day and age. Conventional engineering is going to lose its place in a few years time. Technician, engineer, I don't think there is a scope for them. So very quickly you have to learn new things, and new things, like I told you, they are coming. They are already in the market. My boss from ADNOC, big boss, he called me one day. He said, "I need some people for deployment of AI into our existing infrastructure." He asked me as well. I have no knowledge, no experience, no will even to go there. But that is what people are looking for. You have to be. I just attended a training from ADNOC for this AI. You can make your own agent. Uh, Before, people spend days on letters and summaries and essays and reports and analysis. With this AI, you can do that in 5 minutes if you know the right questions to ask. So people and technology will become irrelevant very quickly. You have to. I learned this from the Siemens head HR. I was looking at a program in BBC, and she said that if you learn something and you come out of the university, you have like 4 years, maximum 5 years to apply and move on. If you in 5 years you do not learn anything new, then you will not be able to even keep your role, not like promoted, or you will not go up, you will just go out. So things are changing at a very fast pace in this industry.
Right, very right, very right. So, Faisal, what is your take on this point? You want to add some points?
Yes, sure, sure, sure. So basically, I want to give one advice to the newcomers, and especially to the ones which have some few years of experience. So basically, normally what it happens that we work for one company, and we work on a very limited, limited field. to but instrumentation is a very vast field. We have field instruments, we have control system, we have analyzers, we have cyber security. So to cover that gap, so you have to be to update yourself. You have to, I will suggest to go for the courses and go for the certifications basically. For instrumentation, we have CAP certifications, ISA certifications. For functional safety, if you are interested in the functional safety, so you do the TUV certifications, TUV Greenland, TUV SUD. So to continuously to upgrade yourself. So like I will give my example. When I came here in Qatar, so I didn't have much certifications, but I see my colleagues here, so they have the certifications, and from the early stage of their careers. So so I will suggest to upgrade yourself and continuously learning, as my colleague mentioned earlier now. So uh, you continuously upgrade yourself and continuously learn new things. And now the cybersecurity is a new hot topic for this field. So go for the ISA certifications on cybersecurity also.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Ji, Vikas bhai, for any addition from your side?
Yes, yes. I think most of the points have already been covered, but one thing I think I would definitely like to add here, especially for the young engineer, that when you are coming into this instrumentation field, and as we were discussing, that there are different fields which are there in within the instrumentation itself. Like you can go into the field instrumentation, then analyzers, data analytics, and then AI now approaching into the most of the fields. Then there comes the construction design which is there also. So I think one thing which is very crucial for the young engineers, that they should try within their first couple of years, that they get abreast of all these kind of different fields which are there inside the instrumentation, and then I think they can find their true potential within, because within every project which is coming there, most of these fields are already involved. So, like, you have to be proactive, and you have to have a good communication with your seniors within the company, and you have to show your will. That's the most important part, because when you are into a project, and there is a project, so much workload is going on. So at that moment of time, the priority of the leads and your mentors will not be like that you get more knowledge and information. Their priority will be to get the work done, right? So in that case, the most important part for the juniors will be that they have to communicate more with their leads and mentors, and show your will, that I want to understand more into this. So can you get me involved into this field itself? So this is very crucial. You have to show your will to the seniors, so that you'll get more knowledge of the different fields within the instrumentation, and this will help you to create your better profile, as well as you get to have more knowledge and information with respect to the different fields, and then you can decide your way forward also, after working into those fields.
Right. Right. Excellent.
Yeah, Naveed, sorry, Liaquat, there is a question if you want to take from Naveed Muzaffar.
Naveed Muzaffar, just a minute. Yeah, it's in the queue, but I thought maybe if I will go with the queue, then maybe I will miss something. I
No,
think
no,
we can take
go at your convenience.
we can take from Wasim Akram, and then we can go to Naveed. This was a pending question basically. My question is, I studied electronics and instrumentation engineering, and since then I have been involved into the construction and around 9 year of experience. And so I would like to be involved into design field. So like he is into the construction and want to move to design. Basically I was also in the construction, and then by chance I moved to design because I got involved with the EPC, and they referred me that you need to go to design now. Then I am into design. So who would like to answer this?
Yeah,
Uh,
I can answer this. Everybody, when they start off their career, like, I mean, most of the people that I know, they start off with construction or commissioning or erection or like that. But that is how you learn the basics. Once you learn the fundamentals, then it's time, to move on to other things. Now, a career switch is very tricky because you can go from construction to end user to maintenance to operation. You can also switch to design and consultancy. But every role, every like area, field, it has its own requirements. Like for design, you need to know the codes and standards. You need to understand how you can interpret the scope of work, the specifications, company requirements, and all of these things. So you have to have a very good understanding, how things are designed. Like I can relate my experience when I switched to design. The first thing I asked my boss when I came to the office, I said, okay, tell me, what is your structure? How do you do this? What is your thought process? What is your process? How do you do the design? So he explained to me the structure. It took me 3 days maybe to learn the process, and the fourth day I was doing on my own. And when I left after 3 years, I was heading the whole department.
right.
So
Excellent.
this, it takes a while, but the thing is, if your fundamentals are good, you have worked with hands, and you know how things are done, whether it's construction or maintenance operation, no problem. But the design is a process, and it has its requirements. Like I said, you have to understand codes, you have to understand standards, regulations also. So all these things you need to learn, and you need to be aware of, and then you can start. I mean, designing is not rocket science, it's very easy, but you need to know the parameters like within which you have to design.
Right. Vakaspa, you would like to add some point in this?
Yes, sure. Basically, as he told, Wasim told that he's into the construction field for like last 9 years. So, one thing that always lacks in the engineers, especially the young junior engineers who are starting their field with the design, is the practical perspective of the things. And this lacks a lot. Whenever we go to any design company or design consultancy, the young engineers, they are just doing everything on book, but how all those things and how all those stuff are actually working, that actually they don't know. So that is, as already our panelists have discussed about it. I think it's a very good opportunity for him. But one thing that I see that some of the construction people, they are just thinking that okay, it will be relatively easier to have the office job after doing all that field work and all. So I would like also to add in this that both of the fields have its own challenges. Like when you are working in the design field, so there are so many interfaces which are working, and so many dynamics which are there in which you have to work across with the other disciplines as well, and all those things and stuff. So I think before taking the final decision or taking the final call before switching from the construction side to the design, I think he needs to have a real insight into more people who are working into the design, and then taking his final call. But yeah, it is absolutely fine, and whether he will be having even more practical perspective than most of the design engineers who doesn't have that.
Right. We have one more question from the career shift point of view. So, and I would request Mr. Faisal to answer this one. I am an electrical engineer working in construction field for last 10 years. During beginning of my career, I have basic idea about process control. Dear experts, what is your opinion about my career shift? Ji sir.
Yeah. Sorry. So it is again the same question regarding the career shift. So the career shift, people, it can be done, but as we explained earlier, that you must know that what are the requirements of the pros and cons of the, I mean, the designing side. So designing side, you must know the codes and standards, number one thing. And for the designing side, you prepare the lot of deliverables, so you must have the some computer, I mean, the Windows, the Excel, Word, and software skill also you need, because in designing we also work on the different softwares also. I mean the SPI, and for the modeling also. So you need um, some training, some knowledge, some know-how also on that side. So yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Moving on to Naveed Muzaffar is asking, since the field is very broad, how should a junior engineer prioritize areas of planning? For example, control
Sorry,
wall.
sorry, Liaqat. Sorry, Liaqat, just I'll interrupt you. Just I want to add one thing about the design field. I forgot
Yeah,
to
yeah,
mention it. It will be very helpful for them. This design field, the currency is documents. You have to produce quality documents.
correct, correct.
Okay, so
Produce the
unless you
document and
can produce
understand the workflow.
exactly, unless you can produce quality deliverables, you cannot survive.
Yeah, and because what I understood during my experience, that every document is coming from another document, or some documents are a mixture of two different documents. So mainly, if you
Liaquat,
understand,
see, the problem is the easiest way is to copy and paste, from a
yeah,
previous project or from a previous document. But the problem with that is, which I've suffered very badly, and I was so hammered by the client because of this, because I was the lead and people were doing this, for me. But they will copy from another project without realizing that it has a different boundary, it has a different scope, it has a
yeah,
different specification, even the area is different, but they will not care. They'll just copy, rename, change some things, and then just publish. So when it goes to the client, he will just simply reject, and
yeah,
it affects the reputation, not only yourself but your company as well. So it's very means I have not seen many quality documents coming out from
mhm,
these consultants. Even Wood and top consultants, they struggle in producing quality documents.
right. I don't know. It is okay to name the name during this live session, but anyway, it's okay.
No, no, it's fine. There is nothing wrong with that. I mean, I have worked with Worley, I have worked with Wood, I have worked with Kent, all people I have worked with, and they really struggle in producing the very poor. I mean, the quality of the documents coming out, if I'm on the client side, I will never accept.
Right. So moving on to Naveed Muzaffar question. Since the field is very broad, how should a junior engineer prioritize area of learning? For example, control valves, PLC, DCS, wiring instrumentation, data sheet, SIL studies, without feeling overwhelmed. So I think this question, who can answer?
Yeah, I can answer, no problem.
Yeah,
The thing is, what you should do is you have to pick the area which is more, which you are more comfortable with, or you have a better understanding of, and you start off with that area. Another very important aspect is that you pick something which is good for the future. I always used to prioritize based on these two things. One, things which I can easily understand, and the second thing, how good it will be after 10 years, or let's say now 5 years. So if something, even if I don't understand, but it is good for the future, then I will take it, no problem, head on. And if I have to spend money, if I have to spend time, no problem. But if I'm struggling with something which I don't understand and it is no value later on in the career also, I would not go for that. It's not worth it. It's not worth my time or my money. So these are the two criteria which I used to weigh things on, and then if it okay, I will take that.
right. Vakas bhai, you would like to add some addition in this?
Yeah, I think he has completely answered the question for this one. The only thing, as we discussed before, that you have to first explore different fields within the instrumentation itself while doing your work into the project, and that will help you to understand in which field you are more comfortable with, and then only you should focus on that field, and as well as while keeping the current trends into the focus.
Right. Now we have comment from Mr. H. To all panel members, what would you recommend for a mid-career professional like 10 to 12 year of experience who wants to transition from construction management to instrument control design? So it is almost
He's
same
already
question.
answered.
So
Uh,
Liaquat, what I understood is everyone who is attending, they want to switch to design.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So, Mr. Faisal, would you like to add some more
Yeah,
additions to
yeah,
Mr.
yeah. I
H?
would like. Yeah. Sorry, I would like to add. So, whichever field you select, so you should be expert in that field. So this should be also be there, whether it is control valves or instrumentation side or control system side. So you should be then your level should be expert level in that field. So it will help you. We have
Right.
one more question, I think.
Yeah, we have one more from Naveed. Since the field is very broad, I think it's almost
I
similar
think it's the
question.
same. It's
How
the
can
Yeah,
same.
junior
similar.
engineer prioritize area
Already
of learning?
answered.
This is
No, we
already
already
covered.
answered this question.
Yes.
Just
Then we
one thing
have
I would like to add, if you want a starting point, I would always start with ISA. It's a very good resource repository. You should get membership and start studying different codes, different standards, especially from IEC. They have all kinds of standard ISA for valves, IEC for functional safety and explosion protection and area classification, and these two IEC and ISA, they should be your starting point. There is a resource called IHS. It has all the standards. But you should have membership. Like ADNOC has a membership of, I think, almost all the standards. So I have the access to that repository, so I can access any standard. And ISA, I'm also a member, so I have access to all the books they publish, all the standards that they have. So it's very quick. Like in 5 minutes, you can whatever you want to know, you can know.
right. Mainly, time is limited, and we have more questions. So I would request that we will take three or four more questions, and then we will wind up today's session. And further, please join us in for part two, most probably next month. Uh, uh, we have one friendly message for Muhammad Shaheen Iqbal, and he's saying, "Nice to see Faisal Bhai after a long time. I worked with him in a while. He was in Descon." So, Faisal Bhai, you would like to say something?
Yeah, I remember Shaheen. And how are you? I will contact you separately. Thank you for remembering me.
Right. Another friendly message. Nice to see Vakas here on panel. Wish you all the best for the future. And I think Vakas Bhai, you don't know who is H.
Yeah, I think Mr. H needs to contact me. Then only we can know each other. But thank you so much for
Right.
that.
Then we have one important question from Naveed Muzaffar, and I would like everyone to give something about this. That what mistake do junior engineers commonly make in instrumentation design, and how can
Very,
we
very good
avoid
question.
them early on? Very important question. So I would request Mr. Ahmer to
Yeah,
guide.
I can only relate my experience or my subordinates' experience, like what they usually do when I switched to design. The worst thing I faced was this copy paste. I mean, you should never copy paste. Even if you copy something, you should read it at least 3, 4 times very slowly and go line by line. If you copy, if you write it from your own, if you write it by yourself, there is not much chance of any big mistakes. But if you copy paste, then it's not going through your head. So you can just miss something very obvious and very big, and it will be caught by either your boss or your client, and either way it's a very big mistake. So please don't copy paste. Try to develop the first documents that you do by yourself. Even if it's a data sheet, it's a small one page document, or it's an architecture, or it's a diagram or whatever. But try to understand, like, to develop things from scratch. Don't jump into anything. You will not gain much. Start very slow, and take your time. Don't rush into things, and especially don't copy paste. I will suggest don't copy. Develop your first few documents by yourself. Like, that's what I use. I came into this design field with almost 18 years of experience, but I struggled really with this copy paste because it was a culture I couldn't do much about. But the best engineers which I have seen in the design field, they are very analytical, they're very quick, they know Excel very well. They're very good with software, very sharp, and they have all the access, very quick access to things. They have ready-made stuff which they can use without any mistakes, but they avoid copy paste. That is what I observed.
राइट
So
जी। फैसल भाई आपकी तरफ से।
yeah, yeah, yeah. मैं इसमें I want to add to Amar point. So basically, normally when we prepare any document, so normally there are three signatures. One is the preparer, one is the checker, and one is the approver. So uh, if one is the preparer, so he cannot see normally his mistakes. So if the checker done the 100% checking and checking rightly, so and for then the document will be most probably will be okay, will be in a good shape. So and for the approver, so normally approver basically do the random check, so he cannot check the full document. So I mean to say that the second eye should see the document before it is releasing to the client. So in that way, we can minimize the mistakes and improve the quality of the document. The second person is whether it is your colleague, whether it is your any senior, whether so that he can review the document, and then we can issue to the client. Yeah.
Yeah, I think there was
Yeah,
some technical
absolutely.
glitch.
The thing
Yeah,
is that if you just started your career as a designer or as a design engineer, then you most probably are at the bottom of the food chain. So you will prepare the document, and there is a method to go about that job. You will not be checking, of course, if you have 5 years experience or 10 years. You will not be, and you're coming into Middle East or Europe or US, wherever. You will not be checking the documents. You will most probably be preparing the documents. So you need to learn how to prepare the document correctly. Obviously somebody will check and he will find mistakes, but you should not give him that chance. At least not big mistakes. Small is no problem, but conceptual mistakes, scope is very critical in our industry. I mean, if I do something, or if I approve something, check something which is out of scope, I will lose my job, simply like that. Even if it is $10 worth of thing, because the project manager does not allow anything which is beyond the scope. So
right.
you should
Uh,
understand the scope, and you should set yourself, limitations. First thing that I do when I join a new project, for 3 days, I just read the scope of work. Then I memorize it, and then I keep it on my desk, one copy, and that's it. If you go
right.
beyond the scope, you are nowhere. The scope is the, very, very important. I cannot
Yeah,
overemphasize it.
scope is the Bible. Right. So, Vakas bhai, what is your take on this
Yes,
question?
yeah, I would
Mistakes.
definitely like to add some things. I think the most important thing which I feel like is, the mistakes that normally the junior engineers do is, not speaking enough with your lead and with your team members. Because, this design field and all the deliverables that you have to make, it's not a kind of isolated kind of thing. And sometimes it happens with the junior engineers that, like, they have been assigned with a certain task by the lead and they will just blindly start it, huh? and not talking enough and not asking the right and good questions with your lead and with your team members. Because when you are not having a good and open communication with your team, there are 100 ways of doing one thing. But the most important thing and the need of the hour today is, you have to do the smart work. Sometimes, it's like your lead can also ask you a method which might not be the correct or suitable one, right? So you have to be more innovative, you have to be more productive, and you have to ask the questions. If you feel like you feel that there is some better option to do it, you should ask, you should discuss with your team. And this can minimize a lot of rework also. Sometimes, there are many lesson learned that comes into the project, that one kind of a rework happened, and it reworked, we have to do in multiple and maybe sometimes in the hundreds of the same wells or anything, any kind of things. So like, you have to make sure, especially when you are starting a work, you are starting a task, you should be pretty much in more communication. And then once everything got set up, then you can work on that. So the open and more communication is very much important within the team as well as with the other disciplines.
Right. We have so many questions, but unfortunately, due to time limitation, we will not be able to answer all during this session. So we will keep some question for the next session. We have one point from Babar Ali. Please, some detail on fire and gas subject as compared to instrumentation. So, who is more into fire and gas from our panel?
Yeah,
Uh, so,
Fasil, go
yes,
ahead.
sir.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can
Okay.
reply, no problem.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hmm.
the thing is, this fire and gas is just, like these oil, chemical plants and oil and gas facilities, they always have this function. This is a mitigation function. You have to detect fire, you have to detect gas, and then you have to take some executive actions. So, but the visibility is very important. One thing is visibility. The other one is you need to cover all the potential fire sources and sources of gas leak. So we do usually when we design, we do a mapping, which is called fire and gas mapping. Usually is done in 3D. So it tells you like where to place your detectors, at what height, what angle, so
Hmm.
that the coverage is optimal. Once you place them, then you have to wire them to your systems. There are two things you have to look at. If you are in the process area, you have to wire everything. This is the current ADNOC design. I don't know about other companies. You have to wire everything to the FGS system, which is part of the ICSS. And if you're talking about a building, then you have to wire everything to a fire alarm panel or a fire alarm system. Now we call it a fire alarm system. It is separate from the ICSS with some interface at some level. But these are the two things you look at when you're going for a fire and gas system. Then the fire and gas system, if you look at it from a design perspective, it's passive, normally not energized. So you energize it when there is something going on, like you want to turn on a beacon or a horn. So otherwise, the loop is not alive. So you need some kind of line monitoring on most of the circuits. So that is what you need to look at once when you're designing. For building fire and gas, you usually have an addressable system just to avoid multiple loops going through the building. So you have to address them and put them in zones and all that. One more thing that you have to look at is the fire zoning in your facility, because if you're in an active fire zone, you need fireproofing for your devices like valves and other things, piping even. You need then fireproofing those things. All these considerations you need to look at when you're doing fire and gas.
Right. So now we are moving towards closing remarks. So first, I would like to request Vakas bhai. to just give the final words. There are still many questions. Some people asked about freelancing. Some people asked about the Upwork. Some people even asked how they can get a client from other company or job from the other company. And there were some more questions also, but I think those questions we will address in the next session, most probably next month. And towards the closing, I would like to request Vakas Bhai to
Yes.
give the
Yes,
final words.
I would like to give more time to my senior panelists for this as they have got more experience. But in my opinion, what I think I can say is, even as we do every field of our life, we have to be ourselves when we are doing our work. It's not like, you are not comfortable or interested in any certain field within the instrumentation, but you keep on doing it, and you are just doing it for the sake of job. So in this way, your productivity and your innovation would get automatically killed. So, like, you have to see in which area of instrumentation you are more keen and interested in. And definitely, when you will be able to understand that, then you will be able to shape your career in the next upcoming projects accordingly as well. Because then you can communicate with your team as well, and your area of expertise will get into it. And try to have as much as practical knowledge as possible. And you can specifically request for the site visits and all. This is a big deficiency I can see in the junior engineers. They are not going into the site that much, and their practical perspective is not enough due to that. So I would request the other panelists also to add into this. Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you. Ji Faisal Bhai, over to you.
Yes. So, final and a very short, brief advice to the juniors that don't limit to yourself to the to certain field only. So, always try to upgrade yourself. If you are expert in the instrumentation side, then go for the doing the certification, going the courses, doing learning on the control system side, and while remaining on your current job. So and then cybersecurity is a new field, so also go for their certifications and functional safety, like this. So don't limit yourself, and always try to upgrade yourself, and um, always try to upgrade yourself.
Right. Ji Ahmed Bhai, over to you.
Yeah, just first, I would like to thank Liaquat for arranging the session, and both Waqas and Faisal. Very good points made by both of them, especially Waqas when he said that you have to collaborate. If you want to do design, you cannot succeed unless you collaborate and work as a team. That was a very good point which Waqas has made. I would like to repeat that even. And my in my experience, 80-90% of my work is based on collaboration and asking the right questions. So I would close this session by saying, unless you can ask the right questions, you can never get the right answer. You by yourself, you cannot do anything. You need to ask other people for their inputs. You have to read, but the best thing you can do is ask questions. So please feel free, ask us, ask somebody else, ask your mentor, but come up with good questions. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Just to update audience, Mr. Ahmed joined us from Shanghai, China, and Mr. Wakas from Abu Dhabi, and Mr. Faisal from all the way from Qatar. So thank you very much for your time. It was
Thank you.
really a interactive and enjoyable session. Thanks to audience also for the lovely questions, and sorry for missing some of the questions. Hopefully we will answer these questions in the next session. Thank you very much. Take care and bye
Thank you so
bye.
much. Take
Allah
care. Bye
Hafiz.
bye. Bye bye.
Allah
Thank you. Bye.
Hafiz.